All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Down Under the podcast. I'm Brendan Bradford, joined by Steve Peios. We're just hours removed from a great, well, not a great 3-point win for Arsenal, but not a great performance. I think we'll both agree. Look, I think we both have criticisms, but just to start off, you can't go past the fact you go up to Old Trafford 1-0, you come away with 3 points opening weekend. That is a huge result in a joint that has been a graveyard for Arsenal for years.
Well said, BB. I think it was a game where we were both testing each other in the early hours of the morning, worrying about what could be and what was going to come of it. So I think for us, the most important thing, I don't care what anyone says, is the result. And I'm the first person to put my hand up as well and say that I was extremely critical to anyone that would listen in text, you included, at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, misplaced passes. What's this guy doing here? Geez, Declan
Yep.
Rice looks leggy and tired. Geez, Saka's not doing much. Geez, Jokeris is working hard but hasn't have a chance. Blah, 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 blah. The main thing, BB, is that we got the result. I can give you a number of times we've played them off the park at Old Trafford. It's a graveyard of a ground for us. We haven't won there by 2 or more goals, and I think it's since the 80s or 90s or something like
Yeah.
that. We've had, before 2021 when Aubameyang scored the 1-0 penalty win. Since then, we've had another 2 wins, so we've won 3 out of the last 5 there in the league. But before that, it was 2006, and before that was 2002 when Will Tort scored the winner in the title run. So look, it has to be the result, BB. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm sure you're the same, mate. You must be over the moon that beyond anything, performance aside, everything else around it aside, 3 points is the most important thing at this time of year.
Absolutely, man. And you look at that in February and March. I think that's 3 points banked. That's just to play not great. We did not play well, but to be able to do enough defensively more than anything to come away with the 3 points was phenomenal. You don't turn that around. Yeah, you don't turn that away. And it will give you
What
should
did you
give you
make
some.
of that, BB, in terms of what did you make of that sort of the defensive resilience? Because what I found during the game is that for all the times that it felt like that they were going to score and they pressed on us, they realistically, apart, I can think of an Mbumo header, I can think of an Mbumo sort of cutting off that right hand side a couple of times where he looked to sort of fancy an opening. I thought defensively we were superb. I was
Yeah,
worried about Calafiori. I think he got sort of caught out on that left hand side a lot, but realistically, the back three of White, Saliba, and Gabriel were just rocks today. So, what did you make of that? The fact that we could realistically hold them to no clear cut chances and just get the job done.
yeah. There was a really good Raya save as well. I think he was man of the match, goalkeeper
Yep.
in goals. But um, a couple of early teething issues. There was one where I can't remember if it was Cunha or Burmo got through sort of 2 or 3. It was just a clunky little
Yep.
play. Everyone sort of got
There was
tangled
the
together.
Cunha run sort of halfway up the field. He did that in both halves, and then Mbumo off
Yeah,
that right hand side was free a lot.
yeah. But look, to be fair to Manchester United, I thought they were better. To be honest, they were
By a mile.
more attacking. They were more decisive going forward. I thought they defended what Arsenal was trying to do, which was still pretty limited. They defended that pretty well, but
Hmm.
to basically, when things aren't clicking, things are still gelling, right? Like there are guys there that have only played a handful of minutes together. So to be able to rely on that back three and keeper to hold you in it, to keep you in it at Old Trafford, at such a tough ground with the crowd booing and the whole thing, um, really gives me a lot of confidence. Like that's although I have so many criticisms, I just come out of it going, look, to scrap away with a win like that, I'm more confident than anything. And look, all the criticisms that I have will be things that that will be worked on. We'll figure out. They'll just iron out as the season goes on. I hope. I'm pretty sure. But let's get to it. For me, going ahead, like it just felt like this indecisiveness on attack. There were a couple of times where you would have 2-on-2, 3-on-3, maybe even an overlap, but guys like Erdegaard, Martinelli were just indecisive, not making the play. Just it felt like they were waiting for things to happen. And to Manchester United's credit, they defended that really well. But I can think of several instances in that game where Casemiro got like a loose ball on the counter
Hmm.
attack, and he's just gone bang, and United are on the attack, and it just didn't seem to be happening for Arsenal. I don't know what it was. What are your what's your take on it?
Couldn't agree more, mate. What I was going to say there is that It felt like it had a lot of preseason vibes about it. And I think where these
Did.
big issues are coming from is these big sort of money spinning tours that we go out to the Far East to try and, bring in fans, bring in popularity. I think that what they do is they can get your fitness in your legs. And I feel like for the most part, for sort of 60, 70 minutes, you could see that we had the fitness in the legs. But where we really struggled with was that, connectivity between us to
Yep.
actually pass the ball. Now, you said spot on the first name that rolled off your tongue, which is so obvious, was Erdegaard. How many times did he get to that final ball? He tried to skip past the defender, got dispossessed, tried to play the final ball. He's either played it out by the byline because the attacker he's not in sync with to actually run down the wing.
Yep.
We saw that with Martinelli once in the first half. I remember where it just rolled the wrong way. We saw him with Saka where he's played it straight into Dorgu, I think it was. And it's just, I can, the amount of times I just sat there going, oh my
Yeah.
Lord, like what's happened
Yeah.
here? And where I think we saw the difference over the weekend is that while City did have the Club World Cup, and like they were knocked out of that in sort of early July. They've then had time to come and have a rest, and then they've based their preseason in Europe. So what they've
Yep.
done is they've actually given themselves time to work on the training paddock in familiar surrounds, and we saw that. Wolves, I can't say how much of an opponent, but what they did do was show that they looked a little bit more, connected. Whereas we, at least I think from the physical side of things, were good for the most part. I think we were better than them physically. Even though if you look at Declan Rice, he looked very leggy towards the end, which was a
Mm.
bit of a concern this early in the season. But the thing is, it's hard to tell how hot it was as well. We heard the commentators, talking about it
Yeah.
being an extremely hot Manchester day. And I spoke to a friend of mine who was there, said it was 21. So I don't know if that's classic
It's a,
English,
it's a different heat.
English
It's a
weather
different kind
tactics.
of
I
heat.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't actually think it's that. I don't think that's actually too bad. But look, 21, I suppose, when you're running the sort of distances these guys are, uh, is a lot. So I agree with you on that. Like there's very disjointed. I thought Zubamendi was pretty good. He's going to have to just increase his speed a little bit. He's very
Yeah.
good at intercepting, reading the play, but I think he likes that sort of La Liga, put on the ball, have a look around. In the Premier League, you don't
Yeah.
have that sort of time. And whilst he didn't get caught out entirely, I thought that was good. I thought Gabriel and Saliba were rock solid, but there was the moments where they just dilly dallied on the ball a little bit. I remember one where Zubamendi played it across the goal face, like from you remember, like and like that
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
cardinal rule you teach your kids when you're coaching them or anyone. Do not do that, like up the wing or out, and they're just. And the commentators even said this is quite risky. So,
Yeah.
there was so many elements where the improvement is needed. I think Martinelli's just got so much work to do on the final product. I think he just
Yeah.
shows everything until he gets to the box. I thought this is an unpopular opinion. I thought Gyökeres was fantastic in terms of the work that he did. He realistically didn't get a clear
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
chance, and yes, he played a few. I remember he played a heavy cross that went. He was trying to cross it in the box, and it went out for a throw in on the 30-meter
Yeah.
line. It was a
Lost the ball
a
under his
rugby
feet.
league bomb gone backwards. I go, hang on a second. But I actually thought he was really good. So for me, my man of the match was Ben White. I thought he was fantastic. I love Jurien Timber, but Ben White gives us so much more going forward, and he's very solid at the back. So I think we missed him last season with his knee injury. So Ben White for me was our best player. Gyökeres after that. I thought he was fantastic. He worked really hard. Didn't have a clear sight on goal, but he did press from the top. Played a great 60 minutes, and then I thought Havertz was good when he came off the bench as well, mate. What do you think about your
Yeah.
your key players for us last night?
Yeah. I thought Havertz was good off the bench. I thought I sort of saw him cop a little bit of criticism, but I thought he added just a little bit of directness, just a bit of go towards goal, and I think that is just having had a little bit more time with those guys. Like so many times, like you mentioned, Erdegaard getting the ball, or Martinelli's got the ball. Saka's one side, Gyökeres was the other side, but it's like, yeah, you don't know, you don't have that connection with those two guys. It's like, oh, you're trying to see this is the pass, that's the run, but they haven't got that sort of connection yet. I don't want to. I thought Saka got caught on the ball a little bit too often, but I'm not going to go too critical on that because you know how good he is with the ball cutting in. Like there were a couple of times he cut in, I think particularly in the second half or maybe late in the first half where like, all right, this is where I've seen him score from just on the edge of the box before plenty of times. So I don't want to be too
Mm-hmm.
critical there, but yeah, look, Gyökeres probably did a lot more work off the ball than anything. Yeah, didn't have a clear chance. He got the ball caught under his feet inside the box there as well in the second half. I want to touch on Ricardo Calafiori as well. Got the yellow card. Jersey pull. He basically got skinned right off a pretty good ball. But it's when he's got the ball driving into the half, into
Hmm.
the attacking half. He's just got this presence about him. It's just the calmness. I know I said earlier, Casemiro's just decisive. Bang, bang. He'll give that pass. When Calafiori's got the ball and he's running, he's surging. I really like it. Obviously, defensively, there's a bit going on, but I really like him just offering a bit of presence, a bit of physicality and pace with the ball. So interesting to see what they do with him, what Arteta does with him as the season goes on. What do you reckon?
I love your thoughts there, BB. I think with Calafiori that there's going to be a couple of things that define his season. So one of them is going to be if he can stay fit. I think he only played 21 games last year, and over the course of a 60-game season, that's a real difficulty when you've got a guy who can score big goals, away from home. We saw that his winner against Wolves last year. We saw his brilliant worldie against Manchester City to sort of get us back into that game last year at the Etihad. He's a player that when he drives forward,
Bradley at the
pops into
Euros too.
midfield.
Yeah,
Yes,
Bradley at the
exactly. I
Euros
mean,
too. The
he's
semi-final. Yeah,
yeah,
not semi-final.
yeah,
The
spot
extra
on,
time.
mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, part of that Italian back three, absolutely world class. So he's been a fantastic player in that respect. I think defensively is where he's going to get caught out. But what I would like to see, though, as our squad continues to grow now and become settled, is that difference in terms of what Arteta does with the squad selection. So you've got Lewis Skelly now. Zinchenko, I think after his comments last week, his Arsenal career is probably over. But I sort of feel like that Timber has the versatility now that he can go over there and just do a job as a defender. So we'll see a little bit of that as well. And then I just personally would love to see, like, at some points, a back three. I just think Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel as a back three would be unbelievable, because what I would love to see as part of that is Lewis Skelly as a wing back. Saka has played a bit of wing back, and I'm not sure that he wants to go back and do that, but I think he's able to play that position, really bombing up the flank where we saw him come to fruition. So, and then what that means as well is that you can almost put Calafiori into a midfield role with Zubimendi, and then let Erdegaard go a little
mm,
bit further forward with Declan Rice and only play one up top, for example. So there's
yeah,
plenty of different options there, but I love what you got to say about Calafiori. I think he's got real potential. He's just got to stay fit now, and he's got to work on that game, because, like you said, when Casemiro pinged quickly to him, it caused a real problem for us, and Bumo looked good for them, so it's a good signing.
yeah. Just real quickly on United. Bumbo looked good. Cunha looks a good signing as well. Interesting to see where they go. I genuinely thought they were better. Like you said earlier, we've gone up there, played the house down, lost. But yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes. We said we were on till 10. I know you've got to run, so we'll wrap it up here. But was it Leeds this weekend? Maybe we'll
Leeds
jump
this
back on
weekend,
end of the
brother.
week for a preview.
Absolutely,
Uh,
we'll do our full Premier League chat later in the week. We'll preview the next game, but I think overall, mate, we're very happy. We've got the result, and that's all we need to do now. I mean, we've got Leeds this weekend, Liverpool away next week. I tell you what, if we can scam a 1-0 or take a point, well, I'd be very happy. So I think we're in a good place. Let's see what happens next week. If it's disjointed and crap next week, I think we'll have a bit more to be worried about. But I think for now,
yeah,
we'd be pretty happy.
absolutely. Steve Peios, I'll speak to you soon.
Talk to you soon, BB. See you later in the week.